Let's get ready to rumble!
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
Nobody does it.
That's enough.
Thank you.
All right, Beats, that's enough. That's enough. Let's get on with some boxing.
I won't fight Deontay Wilder. For me, I think it's interesting.
All right, so Usyk has opened up the door for the Brown Bomber to challenge them 3 sanctioning belt titles he has. So Wilder has responded. He loves facing southpaws. He says he can knock Usyk out. He said he'll need to use jabs, lateral movement, and doing what he does best, coming with the right hand. He says if he can connect with anyone with the right hand, it's going to be devastating. It will be a knockout, so he would have to strategize to get him. But one thing about it is that he is a southpaw, and I love southpaws. But as the article points out here, he was knocked out by the left-handed, or lefty, Zhilei Zhang, his last serious opponent. 2 victories over Luis Ortiz. Ortiz had him in serious trouble in the first fight and was outboxing Wilder for long periods in that fight. He was outboxing Wilder in the second fight and got knocked out again. Although what happened after the 7th round in the first fight was very dodgy. When the 8th round was about to start and then they sent Wilder back to his corner to get checked over by the doctors after he got buzzed pretty badly in the 7th. What was that all about? Then you go back to 2016, Wilder's 3rd defense, Artur Spilka, who no one gave much of a chance. Wilder won in the 9th round, but up until that point, you couldn't tell who was the better boxer. And some had Spilka winning. Southpaw. Usyk is different gravy from most of them southpaws he's faced.
Let the madness begin.
I think there was some method to the madness with Deontay Wilder, even in them fights where he looked technically out of his depth against a lot of them southpaws. But he made the adjustments to pull it out of the fire. But this is 2025. Is that Wilder still in the building?
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
So, a few days back, Usyk announced that he wanted to fight Wilder. At this time, he was ranked number 13 by the WBC, as you can see here. Today, Jose Sulaiman tells us Wilder is ranked 8 or 9, so he can fight as a voluntary and challenge for the title. In all fairness to the WBC, you know what I mean? The Ring magazine can trump that. In 1977, when Don King had the ABC boxing tournament, there was a boxer named Ike Fluellen who hadn't fought for a couple of years. And then when he saw he was ranked number 10, he phoned up the Ring magazine and they spoke to him and asked him, how much fights did you have in 1976? He said none. He couldn't get any fights. He had 2 fights added to his record for 1976 and they bumped him up to number 3. Floyd Mayweather's dad and a few other fighters had some fights added to their records mysteriously. And the tournament was suspended. Just a whole load of corruption. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say that it's worse today or if it was worse back then. It's hard to say. Boxing politics are just crazy. It's amazing how boxing has been ran the way it's been ran for so many years. It's amazing.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.
So, you know, typical week for the WBC. What next? They go and piss off Terence Crawford.
Listen. I got something to say. I got a lot to say. You know, I see Mauricio got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you.
So Sulaiman was like, Crawford, you want to keep the belt?
How you pay me?
You got that nice fat Saudi bag?
How you pay me?
Crawford was like, nah, bro. Allow that for your green belt is the best belt. He's not having it.
Cause like women who get up his hopes, I ain't having it.
I don't know if they charge Canelo. It's a Mexican thing. They ain't trying to extort Canelo like they extorting Crawford. $400K in total is what Crawford said.
Big number. Yeah. You want to make it about you. Like, I've been stripped before. The IBF just stripped me when I was at 147. Doesn't matter. I'm still considered the undisputed champion. I'm still the champion in the division. Because you know why?
Cause I'm still number one.
The only belt that's recognizable as the champion is the ring belt, baby. That's the #1 belt in the division.
Terence Crawford's
Yeah, I think it
Instagram
was
post.
a bit before that. Yeah,
I think I just missed me, but I watched it last night anyway. I just want to get your thoughts on it. He didn't have pop at Maurizio Suleiman and WC, did he? He had a good pop at them.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it because I don't like to. I mean, Terence is a legend. He's very important to the world of boxing. And Maurizio Suleiman is a legend of the world of boxing in different ways, but also very important. So when you get two big names like that beefing, this is a kind of sign of the times with TKO. You know, Terence is part of that kind of crew. And it's like, what he did is a little bit like going out to a restaurant, having all the best caviar and lobsters, and the bill comes and you go, I ain't paying that, and you just walk out. Now, you sat down at the table, you wanted to eat all the good stuff, you got to pay your dues and you got to pay your bill. Now, what he will say in answer to that is, yeah, but the bill's too much. It's like, no, the rules are their rules. They can actually inflict a 3% sanction fee across your whole purse. What Maurizio's saying is, no, what we did, it actually worked out at 0.06 or 9 or whatever it was. But Terence is looking at it going, well, it's 300,000. But it doesn't. You wanted the opportunity to call yourself an undisputed champion, right? Yeah. That's what was important to you. And the only reason you can do that, the only way you can do it, is to fight for the WBC world title.
Terence is running with the TKO mob. Coded language by Eddie. And we got to start from the Crawford-Canelo fight, where Dana didn't let the sanctioning bodies award the belts to Crawford post-fight. Saw the Ring Magazine belt. As for Terence eating all the best food, the lobster and caviar, that's Eddie making an analogy that the WBC is fine dining. Some may argue it's junk food at best. Eddie's sticking up for the WBC. He did make a stand that belts matter, didn't he? In the back and forth against Dana. Terence made a big statement. It was backed up by Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather. And I think a lot of boxing fans enjoyed what Terence did and what he had to say. By Eddie involving Dana and TKO, he's basically saying that either Terence was influenced by Dana and maybe Turkey to undermine the WBC. But Eddie might find himself on the wrong side of public opinion, where all his green belt, WBA belt, glory days is not that important to the current market. Eddie's highest paid fighter will be Anthony Joshua when he takes on Jake Paul for no belt. When he fought Francis Ngannou, was there any belt on the line for that? How much did he get paid for that? There's Eddie trying to put it on Dana that he's going to keep it traditional boxing. He's not going to go for gimmicky belts or anything like that. But his biggest star on Matchroom is in the celebrity circuit, fighting Francis Ngannou, an MMA fighter, and Jake Paul, an influencer. He's talking about traditional boxing. You could argue right now AJ is the poster boy for the sports and entertainment angle in boxing. Really? Eddie? Belts? Eddie not acknowledging enough of the fuckeries and manipulation that the sanctioning bodies have been carrying out for years now. If you're going to talk all this keep tradition shit, forget the sports and entertainment angle. Go fight Fabio Wardley for that WBO strap. Or why didn't they give Daniel Dubois an immediate rematch for the IBF strap? Jake Paul ain't going to want to pay none of them motherfuckers no sanctioning fees. And I'm sure Canelo would agree to that. If he was to fight Jake, or if Usyk was to fight Jake, I'm pretty certain he'd agree to that. We can fight for a Ring Magazine belt. We can fight for no belt. We can invent a belt and break this bread and not give Mauricio free publicity and a sanctioning fee. To a degree, I agree with Eddie. It's not polite not to pay your bill. But at the same time, a lot of people are celebrating Terence Crawford's stick it to the sanctioning bodies right now. That's what they're doing. This 4-belt system and the shit that Canelo and Usyk did recently. Okay, you're undisputed champion. You vacate a belt, then let the Cuban get the belt. And then in a few months of him fighting for the vacant belt, you fight him and beat him. Now you're 2-time undisputed at a weight class. And Usyk did a similar thing. But let's keep it real. They were trying to set up an AJ-Usyk fight, but AJ fumbled the play. That's basically manufacturing a scenario for Canelo to become 2 times at the weight neither the Cuban or the Eastern European he fought were that good. Surely for Usyk or Canelo to become 2 times at their weight class, they'd have to win all 4 belts again. Vacate all of them and win them all back. Don't vacate one, win that back and you're undisputed again. Cheat code. Talking about lobster and caviar. Well, a lot of boxers are going to be saying it's too expensive to eat at that restaurant. I remember Cotto giving up his WBC strap because he didn't want to pay the sanctioning fees on it. He said, no, I'm not having it. I'm not paying that. Now, they stripped him before he got in the ring to fight Canelo, but he wasn't going to pay him that $300K. It's roughly what they wanted from Crawford. He's not paying him no $300K. Canelo, he paid his sanctioning fees, so he got hold of the belt. But like I said, I don't think they charge Canelo the same rates that they charge non-Mexicans. That's my opinion. Although Canelo did snub the WBC when they wanted a piece of his fight, a non-title fight, a catchweight with Chavez. They still wanted to attach a belt to the fight. Canelo didn't want to pay no sanctioning fee to them, and he already thought they were fucking with him, trying to force him to fight Golovkin. So even the Mexicans don't want to fuck with it sometimes. It is what it is.
The only belt that's recognizable as the champion is the ring belt, baby. That's the #1 belt in the division.
Sure, Crawford has held the Ring magazine in a few of the weight classes that he's conquered, but I've never seen him promote the Ring magazine like that. And I don't think this video was random. I do think whoever is backing Terence Crawford right now had a big influence on a lot of what he had to say, be that Dana, be that Turkey. And they're just letting everyone know that it's on.
Are you still involved with Jai Opetaia? I read something online that Mick Francis, I believe, thinks solely Tasman fighters.
No, we work with Jai Opetaia, but his contract's coming up to an end with us. But we got Justice Huni under contract. Obviously, Terramana's with us, and we work with Jai. So, I think with Jai,
are you involved in Saturdays?
No, it's on Stan. Okay. That's the reason that we're not involved on Saturday. So it's a great opportunity for Mick.
So you are still involved with?
Yeah. We were involved with Tasman. They're our partners over there in Australia. So we've got a lot of fighters together, and I think Jai just needs that big opportunity. Listen, whether that's with us or with someone else, I want to see him get that chance. Hopefully he deals with CINKARA and Stahl on Saturday.
You say with us or with someone else, but it's always seemed like the kind of right fit. Is there a bit of uncertainty there?
Not really, but you never know what the future holds, does it? I mean, he's not an exclusive fighter to Matchroom. He's with Tasman fighters, and we work with Tasman fighters, so we love doing that.
Relationship?
Yeah, good. I mean, I don't know what you're digging at here. No, our relationship with Mick's great. Mick's doing a great job.
Matchroom on the poster.
Because it's on Stan, as I've told you. Because Dazn didn't make us an offer that was acceptable. They've backed these other fights, and they want Jai to be in a big fights now, but it's a great fight card on Saturday.
It's a great fight card on Saturday, but DAZN don't want to pick it up. And he seemed a little tetchy when Parsons pressed him about his relationship with Tasman and Mick Francis. And then he said he just wants to see Jai get his big chance, whether that's with us or someone else. What does that mean exactly? He wouldn't speak like that about AJ or Katie Taylor. It doesn't sound like he's too bothered to offer Jai a new contract after this one runs out. Jai could be surplus to requirements on Matchroom, whether he's got that IBF strap or not, because Eddie's trying to arrange Bivol to fight Cam Smith, I believe. He's got Boots, interim champion at 154. He's trying to get that Virgil Ortiz fight over the line. At 140, he's promoting Shakur versus Tio. He's got Bam, and he's got other things going on internationally. You know what I mean? He's trying to tie down AJ versus Fury. Lewis Croker could be defending that IBF 147-pound title against Jack Catterall. Conor Benn has moved into the #1 position at the WBC. Could be fighting the winner out of Ryan and Barrios. Even talking about Katie Taylor fighting Ronda Rousey. And Jai is way down the pecking order right now, especially if they can't make that Zerdo fight. And I know there's going to be people in the comment section saying Jai doesn't fight nobody. And no matter how much times you repeat to them that Jai has called for that unification several times, and unless he goes to Zerdo's house and offers him out, how does he get that fight? How are you going to keep rabbiting on that he's not fighting nobody if they don't want to fight him? Zerdo's trying to fight Benavidez. And it's not like Jai is trying to pick out the weakest cruiserweight to beat up. No. CINKARA on Saturday is his mandatory. I want to big up Charlie Parsons. He's the first one who's addressed this situation, why Jai is not fighting on DAZN on Saturday. And he had Eddie on his back foot a little, didn't he? He did. Why didn't Eddie go to bat for Jai for DAZN to put that card on? A lot of us have followed Jai's journey and it seems like he's slipping away. But it's one of them things. I just have a feeling that Mick Francis, either Mick or Jai, are going to feel a little slighted that DAZN didn't want to pay for that fight. And now Tasman have gone solo and they're going to put it on pay-per-view global. Good luck with that.
Nah, man, I ain't buying it. Nah, man, I ain't buying it.
The WBC order Okolie versus Itauma final eliminator for Usyk's heavyweight title. That's a very interesting one. I've got Moses a big favourite to iron Lawrence out. It's just a request from the sanctioning bodies. They're often ignored. Ben Whittaker is positioned at number 9 by the WBC, but I believe they'll elevate him probably above Anthony Yarde, who just lost to David Benavidez, and they've also ordered an eliminator between Ben and Joshua Buatsi. I don't know if it's a final. I wouldn't think it's a final, as neither of them is in positions 2 or 3. Eddie Hearn seemed to be hinting it's all happening a little too fast for Ben Whittaker. But that's what happens when you challenge for them lower tier sanctioning belts like the WB Silver and you've got a lot of hype behind you. That's what happens. You can't court the attention and then when it comes with eliminators attached to it, you have to deal with it. You either have to spin your way out of it or Ben takes the Buatsi fight where they're talking about having a couple more runouts and then perhaps summer they'll be looking at a Buatsi fight. But David Benavidez, he went straight to it. He didn't even ask for the Buatsi fight. He asked to fight Ben Whittaker. He's ready right now. I'm not DAZN, I'm not Matchroom, so I don't have to worry about the investment money going down the drain if Benavidez was to beat the crap out of Ben Whittaker. I don't have them concerns, but just from a skill set, eye test, not anything on Ben Whittaker's resume, I think he outboxes David Benavidez. The only unknown is what happens when Benavidez starts landing body shots, left hooks to the liver, coming up to the head. But I tell you what, Ben Whittaker would find him very easy to hit. Very, very easy to hit. We've never seen Ben go 12. So you can't say it beat Benavidez. But an 8-rounder, I'd give Ben a chance.
Yeah, I said it. Huh, yeah, I did it.
It's not me hyping him up. Styles make fights. I think there's a few people who can give Benavidez a better fight than Anthony Yarde did. There's a few. Joshua Buatsi. As bad as he looked against Zach Parker, it's 2 different styles. Zach didn't want to engage. David will engage. And there's no way Buatsi could do any worse than Anthony Yarde. I think he'd lose. But I don't think there's nothing wrong if Ben Whittaker takes a stay busy early next year, January, February, then maybe gets another one. And then summertime takes on Buatsi. Whether that eliminator is still in play or not, it's a good matchup. I don't think Matchroom will have Ben Whittaker fighting for belts until 2027. I don't think they will. He's never had a proper run of fights, and 2026 is the year to get it in. But Eddie Hearn said he wasn't even prepared to give a number of fights before he would pitch Ben Whittaker in with Benavidez. Yarde was Benavidez' first stoppage at light heavy. And before that, nobody was thinking that David was particularly threatening at 175, but the Yarde performance has got everybody like,
amongst the mutilated mimics.
He's the danger man all of a sudden. What, one performance? It could all be irrelevant anyway. Ain't Benavidez trying to fight Zerdo? But he calls out Ben Whittaker and not Dimitri Bivol, or respond to Artur Beterbiev, his mandatory for the WBC.
Boxing.
Beats and rhymes.
No one can do it better.